What's going on, everybody? Michael McFarland here, the Lake Fork Fishing Guide, living the dream right here on the Goat Lake, greatest of all times, world famous Lake Fork. I'm going to give you guys a public rundown. I believe it's the 14th, it might be the 15th, but kind of recovered and kind of not from last week. It is the 14th, so it is June 14th. Last week was a absolute blast, Monday through Friday, and pretty much was on the water darn near light to dark every single day. I had full day trips and evening trips, and we were preparing for the Skeeter event, the annual Skeeter Owners Tournament here. There was over 1,850 plus anglers in this event, which usually is about 2 per boat. Over 900 boats hit the lake for a day and a half on Lake Fork. It was absolutely incredible. It was really good fishing. There was quite a few overs brought in, not as many as I expected, but an 11-pound bass, won the overall. It took home a brand new 2022 Skeeter FXR 20-foot boat powered by a 250 horse Yamaha show engine, decked out front to back, Minn Kota Raptors, Minn Kota Ultrex, graphs, the whole 9 yards. What a life-changing prize for some amateur fishermen. I mean, what a payday. That's as big as some of the pros get paid, and maybe bigger in some of the events the pros fish in. So it was really awesome. For the under, a 2.99 pounder. That's a giant fish under 16 inches. Just really Lake Fork showed out this weekend. Most of the fish were caught in multitudes of ways from what I understand. But let's tell you a little bit about the lake. So we'll go to the board. In the last couple of days since the Skeeter event, we are heating up again. We're still having lots of winds. Today was just obtuse, once again, with winds. White caps, rolling waves. My client said he's lived here his whole life. He's never seen June have this much wind. In fact, his wife couldn't even hardly really take the beating of the boat ride, even though we're in a Skeeter. When the lake gets a certain amount of wind, 20-mile-an-hour plus wind, I don't care what boat you're in, it can get rough. When you're following boat lanes, Fork, having to go sideways and take waves sideways and stuff. Head on, no big deal. Tailwind, no big deal. Sideways, you take a beating. But temperatures 82.7, 83.1 between yesterday and today. 0.2 foot visibility. I'm seeing kind of a Lake Fork green in most of the places. I really like that. That's a good, healthy lake. And then our lake level, man, it took a drop pretty quick from yesterday to today. 397.19 yesterday, 397.14 today. I feel like between some evaporation and they must have pulled some municipal water from the lake, but it is falling. Remember, generally, when I talk about the lake, rising water rises fish, falling water points them out. So I'm giving you some quick tips and good information. If you're coming to the lake in the next couple of days, you need to fish the points. Most of the points have the fish. We had the fish spawn. It was getting pretty hot. The fish actually came out post-spawn. They went offshore for just a little bit. This last round of moon phase, we've had a full moon come in, and a little cool trend in the intermediate time of that transition, and it pulled a lot of those bass back up. The bass are raiding the brim beds. This has been going on for a couple of weeks now, but it should be about finished. We're getting the water temperatures back up in the 80s. When we get mid 80s and the brim spawn is finished, those bass are really going to scoot right back out offshore. All right. So since I do another report on Thursday, I'm going to give you the weather for the next 2 days. If you're coming out, it's 76 low, 96 high tomorrow, 75 low Thursday, 98 high on Thursday. That is record kind of setting heats, but tomorrow 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. That'll balance it out. You won't be as hot on the water. Thursday 5 to 10, a little bit less winds. Remember one thing, the lake effect. When you go out in the water, whatever it is, it's a lot more out there on the lake. So tomorrow will probably be a little rough with 10 to 20, and Thursday kind of an ideal day to be out there. The bite. Early in the morning, if you're in the right place, you can catch a few on top water. There is a crankbait bite. There's actually a really good crankbait bite. It's mostly in the trees. It's on roads. It's in about 10 to 16 feet of water with the 6XD. But that crankbait bite isn't everywhere. You have to go looking for it. You want to use your graph. You want to use your side scan, your down scan. Find the balls of bait. Find the broken balls of bait that are in tree lines, road beds, long points with wood, and throw that 6XD. Okay. There's also a really good jig bite. Anytime there's a full moon or a new moon, I love a jig bite. And right now that jig bite's probably the best bite on the lake. And there's a big worm bite. So you can really kind of get out there and catch those fish multitude of ways. Remember, start shallow early. And when I say shallow, if you're on brim beds, you can be a 0 to 4 feet of water. But get deeper real quick, 8 to 12 feet. By after 10 o'clock, you want to start even being more like 14, 16, 18 feet. I had a really good morning this morning. The numbers were down due to the Skeeter event traffic and the pressure that the fish felt for the weekend. But we started the morning out with a 6-pounder, backed it up with a 5-pounder, and then had a fish that broke the line in a manner that popped the line so loud, 20-pound fluorocarbon. The line popped so loud, I thought the rod broke. It's pretty rare to break the 20-pound fluorocarbon, the Cigar fluorocarbon red label that I use. And right now, those fish are actually getting really healthy. The post spawn they recovered from it, so they're on fire. When you get a hold of one of those, they're really, really strong. I never saw that fish today, but it was a giant. It was an absolute giant. Kind of owned the client and broke the line. So overall, brush piles, also another place that you can go find a lot of unders. The brush piles ranging from 6 to 8 foot of water, 12 to 14 foot of water in certain places are loading up with fish. As that water drops the level, this fish points them out. It pulls them out on the points. And believe me, with the crappie fishermen that have fished this lake for so many years, most of the points on this lake have brush piles everywhere on them. You need to use your side scan, make some waypoints, back off, set up accordingly. Throw drop shots, small shaky heads, little creature baits like the baby brush hog, things like that, to catch those unders. But man, the lake's in good shape. I appreciate all of you guys for all of the following. The general subscription is really still growing very, very rapidly. The public viewing is huge. And as these tournaments come and things, it's even more than I expect. So I'm thankful for all of you in the general public subscription. Tell your friends about it. In the future here, I'm going to have a few reviews on my Skeeter boat, my 2022 Skeeter FXR. I'm also going to have some lessons, and Brooke and I will be fishing here as I slow down in the fall. I know it's the middle of summer, but I'm going to slow down in the middle of summer as well. I'm going to start cutting back to half-day trips and stuff. We're going to do something fun for you publicly. It won't all be driven to the members only. I'm going to share some cool things, maybe some other lakes, may just go on a fishing adventure and share some of those cool things with you as well. All right, with that being said, if you want to know more, if you want to know more details, you want to know spot location, you want to understand the rule of 3, which is what I teach, puts you in the right area of a very big lake. The rule of 3, or the exact color and techniques I'm using. I mentioned crankbaits, I mentioned topwaters, I mentioned jigs. If you want to know the exact colors, the depths I'm throwing, the pace that I'm reeling them at, etc. You want to know more details, I'm inviting you to subscribe to the Members Only channel. The Members Only channel is 5 times bigger than I ever dreamed it would be, and it's really an absolute success. The people that have subscribed are running into me all over the place, thanking me. And I feel even more and more grateful and more safe to invite you to come see that Members Only channel. It's worth the $4.99. In fact, I had a man come up to me the other day in the parking lot. He said, I'm subscribing to your channel. I just lost 3 different jigs out on the lake, and that costs a lot more than the $4.99 a month. So I feel it's worth it. He did subscribe, and he thanked me immediately. So check it out. Members only, just hit the join button. Do it one time. If you don't like it, unsubscribe at the end of the month. That's all I ask. Other than that, appreciate you. God bless you all. And I really wish you all super safe and great fishing. Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Fishing Guide.